Simile. Disregard the picture behind me, it's not a political statement, but it's appropriate for what we're going to talk about today. And first of all, that's going to be Chinese medicine. But before we begin, I hope everybody has had a glass of water, and not tap water. And we'll do the 6 breaths so that we're all balanced and receptive for what the information is going to bring to us today. So, breathing in on the count of 5 through the nose, so it's nitric oxide breathing. And breathing out through the nose on the count of 5. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. In and out. In and out. And finally, in and out. When we look at health, there's a health triangle, there's a triad of health. It's the balance between the chemical, the emotional, and the structural. And we need to keep that in mind. Because what we're going to look at today is Chinese medicine. That's where we're going to start. And Chinese medicine has been around for a very long time. The Emperor's Yellow Book first talks about the meridian system about 4,500 years ago. That there are 12 principal meridians and they contain energy. And that energy in Chinese is called qi. And the energy flows in 6 of the meridians. It flows to the heavens, so it's centripetal. And in 6 of the meridians, it flows to the earth, so it's centrifugal. And the whole purpose, the whole business of acupuncture, Chinese medicine, is balance. Where there is imbalance, there is ill health. We've seen a plethora of imbalance of late that has been exaggerated perhaps, but we're showing that we as a species are probably imbalanced. And the question that I always ask is, what is the purpose of therapy? And yes, it's to bring you to balance, but it's more than that. Therapy is to bring you out of effect to cause. So you take responsibility for your own life and functional. Think of it as a little boat out there on a lake that has a rudder. So with the rudder, the boat can be directed to where you want it to go. But what happens if it doesn't have a rudder? It will be blown wherever the wind sends it. And that is called at effect. We need rudders, we need direction. And we come to the main difference between Western pharmaceutical medicine, which is very new. The Flexnor report was published in 1910, which is only 110 years ago. And in this, the Flexnor report that was put together by the Rockefeller and the Carnegie Foundations, paved the way for pharmaceutical medicine, which is what we have today. But in Chinese medicine, and Chinese medicine has been around a lot longer than 110 years, it's been around for a few thousand years, meaning that, of course, if it didn't work, it would have been thrown out like the baby in the bathwater. And this qi, this energy, is a life force that flows within all of us. And it's a harmonious, a balanced way. And this harmony, this balance, is health. Imbalance is disease, where it's not flowing properly. There is, as I say, disharmony. Balance is harmony, or unity if you prefer. And in this conversation between Chi Po and the Yellow Emperor asks Chi Po, what is unity? And Chi Po answers, when the minds of people are closed and wisdom is locked out, they remain tied to disease. Yet their feelings and desires should be investigated and made known. Their wishes and desires should be followed, and when it becomes apparent that those who have attained spirit and energy are flourishing and prosperous, while those who perish have lost their energy. So, isn't that a little bit reminiscent of where we are today? The meridian system, the 12 meridians, can fall out of balance. And this can cause this is really disease. But also, they can reverse, the energy flow can flip. This comes from Chinese medicine, but it's something that was very much looked at and studied by the kinesiologists. The kinesiologists came a lot later. George Goodhart in 1964 got together 50 kinesiologists because one of the problems with kinesiology was that they were finding that their adjustments were not holding. So they met to see, well, what could they do about that? And out of that came the study of kinesiology. Applied kinesiology was what Goodhart brought to the world. And kinesiology really is getting information from the body. The body, mind, is the subconscious, if you prefer, is super intelligent. Never forget that. It's super intelligent. It knows what's wrong with you and it can put it right. We can be guided by that intelligence in the healing process. And that's what kinesiology, or the language of kinesiology, is all about. And that's called muscle testing. And the muscle testing gives us this information. It comes from the meridian system itself. But the meridian system can fall out of balance. And one of the easiest ways that that happens is that we are over anxious, in flight or fight, running away or fighting or angry about the things that are going on in life. And this disrupts the flow of energy. This causes disunity or disharmony. And the meridians can flip. Just imagine that if you woke up tomorrow morning and found that the poles had flipped, that the North Pole had suddenly become the South Pole, and the South Pole had become the North Pole. Can you imagine what sort of chaos that would be? Well, the same thing happens in the energy system of the body, in the meridian system. When we are in flight or fight, or the sympathetic mode of the ANS, what can happen is, of course, there's a specific meridian that is to the fore in that, and that's called the triple warmer. And the triple warmer governs the flight or fight response. The triple warmer begins in this finger here, the ring finger, and it runs all the way up the outside of your arm, up behind your shoulder, up the neck, behind the ear, and comes out beside the eye here. I've just run the triple warmer because what's the energy that comprises the meridians? It's electromagnetic energy, and I have electromagnetic energy in my hand, so I can run a meridian. I'm stimulating, because this is going in the direction of this particular meridian, I'm stimulating my triple warmer by doing that. Now, that's never really a very good idea, because many people have a triple warmer in overwhelm. They are overwhelmed, they're over anxious, there's too much going on in their lives, and therefore it's necessary very often to sedate the triple warmer, and to do that is very simple. you just run the meridian backward, back behind the shoulder and off this arm. Now, neither of these exercises is recommended to do very frequently because you can create an imbalance. And you really have to know whether your triple warmer needs to be subdued or it needs to be energized. So that's where we're going to go now, because we can get this sort of information from the body. We can find out whether that meridian is over-energized, but therefore imbalanced, and when it's over-energized, it usually creates a problem. And that problem is called switching. There are other reasons for switching, but switching means that things get turned upside down. And therefore, when we go to the body for information, the information that we get from the body is not necessarily accurate. In fact, it can be back to front. So let's do a little exercise just to bring all the meridians into balance, okay? I'm going to stand up, and we're going to do this by running the meridians in the upper arm. The yin meridians go down the inside. There are 3 yin meridians of the upper arm. They go down the inside of the upper arm. So and using the magic number in Chinese, we just run them 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you turn the arm over, and these are the yang meridians, 8 times up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And of course we've got 2 arms, so we need to go over to the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we have the legs. Well, this is a bit easier. This reverses. So the yin meridians are the inside of the leg, the yang meridians the outside. So, but this time it's reversed. So we run down the outside of the legs 8 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we run up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that should balance the energy of the body. Just take stock. Just take a moment. Do you feel any different? Has that made a change? Because this is always important, because by running and balancing the meridians, we come out of switching. There are other ways of doing it, but that's one way, and that's a nice way. In Munich, the unswitching exercise is you say 5 things that you want. You see, we're not used to saying what we want in life. We've always been told that it's not something you do. But just 5 things, and as quickly as possible. 5 things that you would like to have. Want is a word that I don't really like because it means lack, and that has all sorts of other implications. So things I would like a nice cup of coffee. I would like a glass of red wine. I'd like to go swimming in the sea. I would like a nice dinner this evening of all sorts of exotic Thai food. And number 5, I would like to feel relaxed and at peace. Just say those things out. And say 5 things you would like right now, just say them out. And that should bring you out of any switching. There are other points we can use. I also like this one, and the thymus gland is located just behind the breastbone. So by tapping on the thymus gland, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I always go 8. It's the magic number in Chinese. 8 times. That will balance the thymus. The thymus is really a very important part of our immune system. It's where T cells are formulated, and the thymus can be affected very adversely by stress. So the next thing is we want to get this information from the body, and we're going to start easily. I'm going to stand up now, and I'm just going to find my center of balance. I'm going to think of myself just letting go. I'm just going to see where balance is. And so when I've found that, I need to relax all my muscles and I really need to come out of my head. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to command. We don't ask questions here, we give commands. Show me a yes, and let me see what my body does. Show me a yes, and my body goes forward. It just does it automatically. I don't have to think about it. And now, show me a no, and my body goes backwards. You might have to try it a few times, but it's a good place to start, because the object here is to work to get a signal so we can get information on many different planes about healing and everything else. So it's to get a signal. Give me a yes. Give me a no. And you go, I go backwards. Yours might be different. We can ask a question. As a statement, taking the water, I'm going to put the water against my thymus gland, and I'm going to say, this is good for me. And my body comes forward, giving me a yes. See what I mean? This is good for me. Now you can use this to test all sorts of things. Now it's not awfully convenient to go around the supermarket and check on the products that you're buying doing the sway test. There are easier ways, there are other ways. And one of them is the idiomotor response. And I'm going to bring my hand up here and I'm going to say, I'm going to ask my fingers to give me this information. Give me a yes. You see my finger flicks. Give me a yes. Try it. Give me a no. A different finger will move. The one I particularly like comes from kinesiology, and it's called sticky smooth. And in kinesiology, when you're doing muscle testing, generally speaking, you are tested by another person. But you can self-test. All of this is about self-testing. So what I do is this one, sticky smooth. I take my finger and I run it across my nail as I ask or make my statement. And again, I can say, give me a yes. And I rub my finger. Give me a yes. I rub my finger. What does it feel like? What are the kinesthetics? Give me a no. Are they the same? When I do this, when I say give me a yes, the yes is smooth. And we have some, Basil has now joined in all of this, and he's saying, he's getting a no. And then when we rub and give me a no, it's rough. You need to practice this. You need to just try it. Don't feel pressured, just experiment. I can then take my glass of water and I can hold it here. I can do my sticky smooth with it. This is good for me. And I get a smooth. This is bad for me. And I get a rough, which is a no. So I can test all sorts of things this way. So that's today's task. Try it. Experiment. See what you find. Test it on foods. See what is going to be of benefit to you to eat and what isn't. And as a nice little test for the next week, go with the things that you get a yes with and cut out the things with a no and see how that works. Okay, well, nice to talk to everybody this week. Hope to catch up with you again soon when we'll review this and we'll go on to the next bit of this. So, thank you for being here, thank you for watching, and bye for now.